my dears. My name is Joanna, and I welcome you to the Johanna Draconis, the Deconstruction of C-PTSD podcast. In this episode, we will talk about how to plan your healing process, as there is a lot you can do to properly plan and optimize it. The question, how do I heal myself, is often tied to simple, basic methods. As easy and simple as they are a great help and even are a requirement often for your healing process. It is one of those things, once you know, it is obvious and easy, but before that, it is a book with several locks. So let us look into it. It is New Year's Eve, and with that usually comes the New Year's resolutions. There are several classics, which usually rarely work out as intended. But the New Year's Eve is a good time to look back and ahead. It is a great time to reflect on the next year and lay out a path for the next one, especially for those ones suffering from PTSD. How do we best tackle this nightmare? How do we best move forward? Naturally, there are no solutions for everyone, but I thought I'd use the opportunity to help people plan out their healing a bit better. There are a few things that are cornerstones of the healing process. So, we will first talk about making a multiple step plan, describe what are realistic steps, and why timing is everything. We talked before about how it is better to split something up into smaller bits. It is also one of the core elements on how to get rid of PTSD, by taking it bit by bit until it's gone, instead of swallowing it as a whole. It is nothing new, but let us take a closer look nonetheless. It is wiser generally to reduce one big step to several small ones. The amount depends on what makes sense, of course. This way, instead of failing to take such a huge step and needing many attempts, you can take several of the small ones and continue any time. This way the hurdle becomes significantly smaller. So what would that look like for an everyday routine? A simple example would be building up furniture. Yes, you should better do it in one rush, but you could stop it in any step and continue later on. Another would be cleaning up the room. Instead of seeing that huge pile of work that is the room, it is better to just either do one step like collect the trash or getting the dirty clothes. Then it depends on the person. Some go simply, literally, step by step, starting from the door. Others will target the infamous storage chair, then the desk, then the ground, and so on. So far, so good. But what are realistic steps for healing from PTSD? The healing process isn't linear and clear, so what steps could we set up for ourselves? As measuring the healing process is hard enough on itself. Well, we basically hit two birds with one stone. We follow the steps above to the point that we don't try too big of a step. What a big step is, of course, dependent on the extremity of your PTSD, so adapt accordingly. Also, just focus on one thing. Otherwise, your attention is spread too far and you won't be effective. That doesn't mean you can try to fix several things, but focus on one and keep the pool of the others small. I also would recommend going for positive things instead of negative ones. Rather, I will do something productive instead of I won't be unproductive today. Also, don't be too strict to yourself. Let us continue with the example and create steps for it. Depending on your state, the step I will try to do something productive is a first step. The next step would be a serious attempt. Then the next would be to partially do it. and the next one is to almost complete it. And the final step for the first segment is to actually do it. Then you try to do one thing for 2 days straight. The next step are 3 days. And so on. At one point, you might want to add a second productive thing. So that would be to try 2 productive things on 1 day. Next step is 2 productive things on 2 days straight. And so on. This way, you have concrete goals you can aim for and work towards. Instead of I want to be more productive, you have clear objectives. It might also be wise to separate such a big topic, like our example, into different segments. Like we did with our example by using the segment succeeding at 1 in a row, and 2 in a row. Another important thing is timing. Yes, timing is very important, because everything fluctuates while you are healing. Sometimes you will feel very energetic, and it's good to do some things. But not all, because then you just burn yourself out and make yourself vulnerable for the next bad times. Our brain has blockades in front of things we want to do, but can't, because it is blocked. That can be cooking, going outside, whatever. The thing is, those blockades are not up at the same time. Your brain can only block things so much at once. So you really need to learn how to check those blocks. This way you can easily find out when it is time to do what. Something is completely blocked? Not doable then. But oh, that other thing? Barely a block. So let's do this. This way you lose less energy doing them. You are being more effective, more likely faster, and energy efficient. That helps speeding up the healing process and making it overall a more pleasant experience. Not a pleasant one, but more pleasant. With a bit of routine, you will very easily be able to tell when the best time to what is. And what is blocked and what isn't. You have only limited time and energy. Being efficient is crucial. But also don't forget to reward yourself. I know it seems trivial and unimportant compared to the pile of problems, but you are a human being with feelings. Reward yourself a little bit after each step. This way you stay motivated, have more energy, and overall are in a better state, which usually leads to better sleep, which then leads to more energy. Don't underestimate the power of rewards and breaks. The time between the years is really a weird one, isn't it? Somehow nothing happens. For me it was rather the other way around. Completely burned myself out during the holidays. For once, not really my fault. As much as I was low energy, it was my surroundings that caused the issue. Doesn't really matter. In the end, I couldn't cook until a day later and was completely exhausted. That still echoes, but it gotten a lot better. I swear to everything that is sacred to me that I hadn't such chaos in my life for years. I have been tempted a lot in the last weeks to think that I'm in the Truman Show. I kind of gave up on the thought of normality for a while, and just go along with it. Otherwise, I got quite a few things done, and of course I keep working towards progress. If life lets me, that is. But as annoying as this whole ordeal is, it is just that. Annoying. It only delays everything, and as long it is only that, it is just annoying and everything will be fine. That was it for today's episode. I hope you guys start the next year with a good slide, as we like to say here in Germany, and your wishes come true. As far as they can, of course. That was definitely an interesting year. I hope the next one will be less dramatic. I hope it was better for you. Either way, if you have any questions or feedback and the like, please let me know at contact me at johannadraconis.com. More information and transcripts you can find as usually under johannadraconis.com/podcast. And links are in the description. I hope to see you next time. Watch yourself and have a wonderful time.